Hello, this is Sculpt January number 8, I think, and we're doing eyes. So I start off with a plane and make a basic shape before going into the dine topo, just so it's a bit easier and I've got a rounded shape rather than trying to pull a plane around with the snake hook tool. I spent too long doing that, really. It would have been just quicker to get straight into it. Obviously I had to apply my mirror modifier before going into dine topo. I kept having slight glitches with my pen. It kept not doing what I was hoping it would do, but I got to grips with it in the end. I'm not quite as pleased with the way this one turned out. I think in a sense this video is about how to deal with failure. Or maybe disappointment. It's not complete failure, it's just not as good as I would have liked. What I probably should have done is done something a bit more fun, but I thought I really need a good understanding of eyes and anatomy. So I need to do just some basic eyes really well. That's what I was thinking. Now the first thing was getting the shape right. That was really important to me, so I did spend a lot of time doing that, because that's the basics of it. All the detailed bits like the lines and creases and things like that, if you haven't got a good base, then it's not going to look good. And I actually started with the eyeballs far too far forward, and it took me a long time to realise that, and I looked at my reference images over and over and suddenly thought, hang on a minute, this is all wrong, I need to sort it out. So about this point was okay, so I thought I'd up the detail and move things around a bit. And I was looking closely at my reference images. I was trying as well, it's actually a bit easier to do a character with lots of creases and sort of old and gnarly. It's got more character in a sense, but to do sort of a woman that's got really clear skin is actually quite tough to make it look real, so I thought I'd have a go at that. So they're very subtle lines and subtle shapes, and actually I probably went too high detailed, and I was thinking all the time I want to go high detail, I want to get some really great detail, but I went too high detail too early on, and I started messing around with the shape whilst it was in high detail mode, and that's always tricky. I put the matte cap on this time so I could really see the grooves and creases and things. That does help a bit, but it is a bit more taxing on the graphics card. So I started doing the detailed bits, which are kind of the fun bits in a sense, where you really see some character come out usually, and I just found it really frustrating, this bit. It didn't seem to make the model come alive at all, which was really annoying. And then I thought, well, I'll try and add some eyebrows in, maybe that's what's missing, and some eyelashes. So I thought, right, I'll give it a go at putting paws in, maybe that will help. So I had to up the resolution even more, and then my graphics card couldn't handle it with screen recording at the same time. So there's a big frustration with all those sort of things. And then I eventually came around to the idea that maybe I need to simplify this and not get too stressed by it, and move on to the next one, which I'm looking forward to. I think it's Tool, the next one. I even tried putting these eyebrows in, and I got a brush online to try and sort that out, and I thought that's not working at all because I have to go way too high detail for that. So maybe if I did some stylized eyebrows, and as you can see, that did not work. The good thing is there's a big learning experience here that I'm going through. Finding out what's not working is just as important as finding out what works. And the strange thing was, at this point I just thought, right, I've got enough, I'm going to start baking out the textures. So I tried tidying up the mesh. That seemed to take forever as well. I thought, right, I'll just cut this bit out with a Boolean operation. And I'm dreadful with Booleans because I can never remember which one's which, so I press on the union, difference, intersect, and the mesh disappears and then comes back, and I'm thinking, what's going on? So I eventually got there, to this. There we go. I always find Booleans a little bit glitchy as well, even when I look it up and think, oh, well, that's supposed to do that, and it's not doing that. What's going on? But anyway, I'm here now. So now onto the unwrapping, and I thought, well, maybe if I paint it later. So I was a bit more careful with the unwrap, so I didn't do such a low angle, but I thought, no, it's not about painting, it's about sculpting, so that's a bit pointless. Did my cavity bake as well as my ambient occlusion, but there's not that many cavities. Again, it's this sort of perfect skin woman, supposedly, and you don't have that same amount of detail to play with. So I was noticing the cavity bake did very little. I was obviously getting tired at this point because I was getting frustrated, the mesh wasn't looking right. I thought I'd got a glitch in my normal map, but it was me not putting it to non-color data. I thought I'd put some eyelashes in. I have a bit of experiment with this one, using a white mask, so black and white, for the alpha channel, and then trying to get that to work. It doesn't look great, but it's okay. It's passable certainly, but it's not what I was going for. I just wanted this to look amazing and had really high expectations because it'd been going very well, the sculpting so far. But again, a learning experience. I know what can be done and what can't be done. So slowly getting there, and eventually I put some eyebrows on as well. And it's an okay looking model, but it's not as good as I was hoping. So thanks for watching, thanks for following me on this journey, and tomorrow is tools, so we'll see how we get on with that one. Thanks for all the comments, really appreciated. It keeps me going. And do look on the links in the description for the Facebook group, and I'll see you there.